Hi everybody, this week on Alien News Kids, I'm going to be talking about Liz Truss resigning as the British Prime Minister, the election for the new British Prime Minister, the Iraq stone carving found while excavating, and the Russia-Ukraine war. The country of the week is Botswana, and the extra fun segment is all about meerkats. The Chinese segment is about the First Dynasty and how it started, and it's the first episode of our China history segment. And we're interviewing Mr. Vijay this week. He's an incredible person who was a professional basketball player and now does something completely different. I really hope you enjoy. Liz Truss, the UK Prime Minister, resigned after just 45 days. She is the shortest serving British Prime Minister ever. There were many reasons for her downfall.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent. I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
Just a few days after she took office, the Queen died and there was a lot of mourning in the UK. This delayed a lot of her plans, and after that she went to a diplomatic trip, which was her only one. When she came back, she announced her mini budget, which was not very popular because it meant changing the taxes, decreasing them for the people who earned more, and many people said that this would cause a lot of inflation. Her chancellor then had to be removed, and many people were really angry with her because she kept changing her plan. Her new chancellor seemed like he was controlling everything, and she didn't have much control anymore. And finally, after a lot of pressure to resign, and after someone in her own parliament resigning, she gave in. Now there's going to be an election to decide who's going to take over. Now that Liz Truss has announced that she is going to be resigning as the British Prime Minister, there is going to be a new election to decide who is going to be the next British Prime Minister. There have been many people who have already shown interest, but in order to be a candidate, they need to have at least 100 Tory MP vote supports. And there are a total of 357 Tory MPs, so there will be a maximum of 3 candidates. Penny Mordaunt has already announced that she is going to be running. And other people who might also announce it very soon are Rishi Sunak, who was against Liz Truss in the election and has already gotten many votes. There's also Boris Johnson, the former British Prime Minister, and a few other ones who are not as likely, like Suella Braverman, who was in Liz Truss's parliament. Some Tory MPs have already announced who they are supporting, and Rishi Sunak is currently leading with more than 90 Tory MP votes. Second one is Boris Johnson with around 45 Tory MP votes, and the third is Penny Mordaunt with 21 MP votes. In northern Iraq, some amazing stuff were found by paleontologists. This team of US-Iraqi soldiers. In northern Iraq, some amazing things were found. A team of US-Iraqi paleontologists discovered some Assyrian rock carvings dating back 2,700 years while they were reconstructing the Mashri Gate. The Mashri Gate is a historical monument in Iraq that was actually destroyed twice. It was once destroyed a long time ago, then rebuilt in 1970, but in 2016, ISIS soldiers destroyed it one more time deliberately when they were occupying Iraq. Now they are trying to reconstruct it. Iraq is a place that had a lot of the oldest civilizations, like the Babylonian civilization, the Sumerians, and the Assyrians. This rock carving is an amazing find, and all of this whole team are really happy because this can really help them with their research. The Russia-Ukraine war is getting more and more violent. Both sides have now gotten more soldiers to fight, and now Russia is launching a lot of drones in Ukraine. Russia just acquired a lot of suicide drones from Iran, and these drones are small, portable, hard to detect, and can be launched from a distance. Both sides are fighting really hard, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Prisoners from both sides who are just ordinary civilians have also been taken and are only being released during prisoner swaps. Many people are trying to flee these countries, but Russia is trying to close its borders to make sure that nobody leaves. Putin earlier this week said that Russia of course doesn't want to be in war with Ukraine, but does this for security reasons. And now many people are striving to publicly announce the end of the war because it's been a really long time since it started. Hi everybody, this is the ANN News Kids, a Spiritual Career segment. We are interviewing Mr. Vijay, an incredible person. He started off as a professional basketball player and now he's in the business. I really hope you enjoy and learn something new.
Yeah, I'm Vijayaragavan. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I studied from down south Tamil Nadu, so maybe by BCom, and then my chartered accountancy course training in Chennai, and become a member. I passed out in about 77, so almost we can say how many years? 34 years? I don't know, more than that probably. Okay, so. Basically, this is for the first few initial 30 years, I've been more working on my profession, more as a bean counter and joined the accounts profession.
Wow.
I was working in the Tata Steel and Company, then Tisco, one of the major steel producers back in Jamshedpur. Then after a stint there about 5-6 years, I went to the Middle East. And then I've been working as I was joined as an accounts manager and raised up to the level of finance director by the time I left, about 25 years actually. So then after my wife is also a chartered accountant. She also with me, and she because we just after nearly 30 years, 25 years abroad, we wanted to see the children education, etc. We wanted to come back to India. So I have two sons who both are engineers and good tennis players. So for their education, we have to come back to India. Basically, Hyderabad is where my wife's in-laws were there because though I came from down south, I lost my roots. All my sisters and parents, siblings are different places, so we had to come back. So when I came back to India, we wanted to focus on three basic areas. One is the health and education. There is the hospitality side and the health one, and then environmental side and the research. So the three areas were my focus. So when I worked in Qatar, because I was able to really turn the company, many of the greenfield operations, I was able to really work well for the company, and then I got a lot of recognition. So keeping that in mind, actually, I was saying when I'm working for somebody, why not I do myself? Something on my own.
Yeah.
This is where the entrepreneurial bug really got into me. So we came back to India. We wanted to start something of our own venture type of this thing. So then that's why I was thinking which area to focus. Then we said, okay, fine, we should look at the health and education school side, and also the environmental side, and also coupled with the research and development orientation. So that is how the genesis of my SVS Medical College. Way back in 99, 2000, we came back to India. We started this medical college along with my couple of my friends and doctor friends. About six of us, my two families, I would say, my wife and myself, and there are four brothers, so Venkat Reddy, and they are from way back in Mehboob, which is in Andhra Pradesh. Yes, now it is called Telangana. So what was happening is at the time the government was looking at they're not able to provide the medical facilities on their own. So they wanted to open up it for the private sectors. So they want unaided private sectors to provide this medical college and this thing. So each district headquarters was actually opened up for the private institution to start the operation. Mehboob Nagar was actually one of the places where my partners are hailing from. You know, they were from their place. We thought this is one of the backward area. So they thought they wanted to do something for their own thing. Then they said they are one is an engineer and is a doctor. So they lack financial and accounts ability. So they said, okay, why don't we join? So we each four of us complement each other, and then we created a sort of a partnership, which is really going strong. Nearly about probably our partnership can be shown as an example for many people. Really envy us and for our 30, 40 years of association, and then going extremely strength to strength. So we created the medical college, which is now about 23 years old, with about 1,000-bed teaching hospital, and medical school, which is happening, has got various undergraduation, MBBS, and postgraduate, and then nursing, dental, and allied technician courses, etc. Around 2,500 students are there, and we have actually probably the top two in the combined Andhra Pradesh, we can say, in the private medical colleges, and we are very, very proud of that one. So, as a policy, whatever I do, we need to really do excel in what we do. We should be a niche market, and we need to be different from others. That's my vision and goal always. So I am the chairman of this institution. I basically provide them the vision, funding, and structure, and then the overall window of the organization. We'll say that one, and the other people take care of the day-to-day operation, because I'm not a day-to-day operation person actually per se. My vision is basically to take this to probably top 10 of Indian the health sector. That is my vision. To do that, we can't just do only a college education per se. So we thought we need to have a research orientation, so that when you do a good research and good faculties and good scientists come, the good people gravitate good people, so that the institution becomes really known, and then more people come, over the overall standard goes up. So that's how we started a Palamur Bio, which is a CRO, which is actually how the other company which is coming there, which we are currently discussing, an association with Palam Bioculture Mauritius. They are basically the preclinical CRO, which does the testing on animals and laboratory animals, and which is one of the niche player, and probably the top five, the top two, we can say, the GLP accredited laboratory in India, with all the focus on the large animal. Actually, as I mentioned, whatever we do, we want to be a niche player and should be unique, not should be a run-of-the-mill type. We do that one. That is shown in my even career also, because I don't know whether I mentioned to you, I am a chartered accountant and also a good basketball player. I played for the country and represented India for 3 years, and I also got the Arjuna Award. Probably I'm the only chartered accountant with Arjuna Award. Actually, I can say that. I'm proud on that. So even the similar this thing continues basically, because we do, like even the medical college, we are the top two. And we are the only private medical college without any political affiliation. If you see that Indian condition, any medical education is always proliferated with politicians or somebody is there actually. It's not for people of any professionals and educated people. Probably we are the only people set a different trend, I would say. Now, some more people are coming like that. So I think one of the major advantage people like our college and then our management is because of our professionalism and also the transparency in which you do, the quality standard we maintain, our infrastructure is good, and then we are not really doing for money per se because this commercial operation, yes, but that is not the main objective of this company, and we do focus on quality, and incidentally money comes. So see, these are the basic traits of our thing. The vision is basically to be a top in whatever you do, excel in the niche market, you do a monopoly situation, and then we may not achieve the quality standard so that the money will automatically come. So these are the basic principles on which I work, and with God's grace and support of my mother, who's my actually inspiration, because she's not educated person, etc. But she was actually helping me to shape our thing, and with her perseverance, she's a single mother and brought all of us actually, and the five of brothers, all of them in a very good position. And I always, our basic quality is perseverance, and that perseverance is what made me what I am today, actually, without my hard work and things like that. So that is it. So, so that's what I will basically say about me and the background and things like that. So,
wow, that's an amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So what really makes me about enjoy this particular profession or whatever the occupation which I'm doing it actually is, see, when we came to India, we wanted to be in a segment which needs, which is unique, and also should be of societal value. Okay, we need to support the thing, and incidentally we make profit. Anyway, without money and without support, it has to sustainability is important.
Yeah,
that is important, but that is not the only criteria. So we just looked at it, that option. So we came to this one. So we are alleviating the pain. So we thought a position, a good doctor, a facility. If you have a good doctor and then facility, people just gravitate to that one. Not necessary, it has to be in a city. There are people in the rural areas. We are a very backward and rural area. People have to go all the way from here, spend, easily the solution cost. Because it's the same doctor, may cost about $1,000 for his operation. That cost can be saved even in a rural hospital. Whereas the solution cost in other areas, that hospitals say people are going along with them, their stay. So this all making this whole cost of our service and hospital expenses much higher. So our objective is to reduce the solution cost so that we give them a good service with a good doctors at an affordable cost. That is one thing. And alleviating their pressure, their life, pain, and save life. Because when this person is there, suppose a heart attack is there, it has to go 3 or 4 city, he has to go, it may to take 5-6 hours. That may be crucial. If you have a facility down in this place next to his village, so about 1 hour he reaches the place, that means we are saving 4 hours. So this is the two things. So we are actually contributing to the nation's cause and alleviating the pain and also helping the society. So this is what really made me passionate about this particular segment of operation. Why I like this. And also an example which is say, we did a very good camping, camp we organized for the polio affected people in Mehboob. We never know polio in Mehboob. When we did the camp, there are about 10,000 people are affected by polio. This is actually the earlier thing. More out of ignorance and not knowledge is there, etc. Yeah. And many of the people, they are all bent knee. Somebody is crawling with 4 legs like an animal. They can't stand straight with a leg and then the leg. So these people we selected, We did a camp and then through along with the other NGO, we did some operation through an orthopedic department, and then they were able to give them the implants and things like that. Also, we can give them the particular what is that one they could do? They were able to posturate leg or something like that.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
they were able to stand and walk. You know, the 500 people we did that. After
Wow.
this thing is over, I went and met them. Everybody is just folding their hands and say thank you. So this is what beauty of this one I like. Why I
Yeah.
just this is really sums up why we like this, this particular
Yeah.
operation business. So
That's
this is
amazing.
this is the overall approach and basis which really is our basic of this thing. I mean, why we do something, why we are doing a particular profession, why we are doing that. This is all the precursor of all our genesis, how we can say, or why we do that. So, of course, ultimately it has to make money, and then only to sustain it. But the fundamental reason, there is a cost and there is a benefit. We provide the services. So this is what I can say this one.
Wow.
I hope it makes sense. Whatever.
Yes, yeah. That's amazing. I mean, you do a lot of things and very passionately as well. So that's amazing.
So I don't know, is there anything else you can say? It's basically this you've given
Yes, we just have one final question. What is your advice to kids?
Yeah. It is an interesting thing. I would really, I'm not very big to probably advise. So probably I was been blessed and my blessings of my mother and the God's grace. But I can only tell what I believe, what I practice. Probably that would be an advice. One important thing is maybe the student or maybe whoever is there actually. There are two things. One is the vision. They need to have very clear focus on what they want to do. Secondly, need to be really at it, perseverance. There may be failures, they may lose something, but don't deviate. You adjust yourself and try, and you be passionate about your goal. You be that, suppose I was just going to one school, one of the things I lectured, I just asked them, how do you feel? There's a lot of pressure, we are having a lot of pressure, etc. Then I think, why should you have pressure? Okay, your mother is saying you're in a very good, that's a very big school, international school with air conditioning and a lot of this thing. Your parents are paying your fees. You are actually having a wonderful life. Actually, then the car is coming and dropping you, and everything there. What you have to do it just see if you are not really enjoying what you do. So what is the point? If there won't be pressure. What you do, you have to love what you want to do. Otherwise, there will be pressure. If you say the pressure, then you cannot really just achieve what you want. So basically, you should love your job, be passionate about it, persevere, and then you will achieve your goal. There has to be a clear goal, and then I'm sure you will be able to do that. In fact, we came from a very lower middle class Brahmin family. We came to that one purely because of perseverance and hard work and do, because there is insatiable, requirement. I need to succeed. I want to be something. So that's why we just say when in the basketball, coming from down south, I captain the Indian team. I don't know the North Indian language. Even then,
Wow.
able to captain the Indian team. And then we just, I think, exceeded this thing. And my captaincy, India came number 3rd. That is the highest honor. And I was also the first person to do the Asian All-Star. And I was selected as a top rebounder. In all this one, in Patiala, our National Institute of Sports, we have a coaching camp. There are about 6-7 hours of coaching will be there. And evening, I'll be just in the night, I'll be writing with the Shukla and Gravel, doing my accountancy, maths, and everything. So this is hard work and smart work. Basically, smart, hard work alone, if you say that, just to tell an example, CA exam is very, very tough. The percentage of passage is about in India, 6 to 7%. I'm being a sportsman, it's the people say, you will never pass. You cannot do that. You just join a bank and get a job and things like that. But basically, I've really analyzed what is that one, we need to have a system and we need to have approach in your method. See, the professional education is something different from normal this thing. So basically, you have to understand the problem. you have to give a solution, not necessarily, there is a logical solution. If you do, they do. So I have seen 20 years of the last 20 years of question paper of, Xia Institute. I've taken it, I brought it. And each and every question analyzed, I'm just looking at the logic, how they are actually, the question is framed. So, it's almost, the pattern we'll know. Once we know the pattern, we'll able to apply, you tune your mind, basically, there one. So I was able to pass in the first inter, and the final examination, I passed in the second attempt. So I passed one subject only I failed. So overall, I was able to do it. I'm not a brilliant person, but an average person. I've managed with all the things. But in your life, you don't have to be a first classer, I think that. You need to be there, but you need to be practical. You're able to apply your mind for what you study, and then you're able to see. Many of the things, sometimes when you're studying, you may not understand. When you go to the practical situation, you'll understand. Many of my accountancy, many of my law, I understand better after I started working. So I just, right, okay, this is what it is said that. Now I understand, something like that. So you have to apply. This is what I would tell whoever as an advice to the youngsters, they do. A lot of things. Key is basically clear vision and focus, hard work and smart work, perseverance, and then should not waver. Whatever you should be passionate about what you do, and continuous, application of that, irrespective of failures, etc. That's what I would advise.
Wow, thank you so much. That's amazing. It was amazing talking to you, and thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, good. I hope it will be of some use and information.
Of course, yes, a lot. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you. Take care. Good luck to you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much. Le Botswana est un pays d'Afrique du Sud. Sa capitale est Gaborone et sa population est de 2,4 millions d'habitants. Le Botswana a la plus forte concentration d'éléphants du monde. Plus de 70% de Botswana est désertique. Le delta d'Olukango est un lieu dans le désert Kalahari de Botswana. C'est l'un des merveilles d'Afrique. Le Botswana est l'un des meilleurs espaces pour voir des suricates à la sauvage. Le Botswana est l'un des plus grands producteurs de diamants du monde. Le Botswana contient l'un des plus grands marais de sel du monde. Hi everybody, this week on A&N News Kids Extra Fun segment, we're going to be talking about meerkats. I really hope you enjoy. Meerkats live in all kinds of deserts. A meerkat is a small mongoose found in South Africa. Meerkats are immune to venom. They are also highly intelligent creatures. They are carnivores and they have a remarkable eyesight. Their head and body length is only about 27 to 35 centimeters, and their weight is less than a kilogram, up to 0.97 kilograms. I really hope you enjoyed these fun facts about meerkats. Everybody, this week for the Chinese segment, we're going to be starting the first episode of History of China. I really hope you enjoy. I'm going to be telling you the story of how the first Chinese dynasty started. To this day, the historians don't know if they should call it a dynasty or not. It was called the Xia Dynasty. It was the first Chinese dynasty. You might know that China started around two rivers, the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. But there was a problem at that time. Because of these rivers and the seasons, there was a lot of flooding. And so all the crops that the farmers used to grow in that time kept getting flooded. But luckily, there was someone who was an engineer called Yu. His name was Yu the engineer, and he discovered a way to stop the flooding by creating streams. He dug holes into the ground to divert the water so that it wouldn't flood. Because people were so impressed by his knowledge, they decided that he would become the leader of their village. Soon, his family and him started colonizing a few more cities in China, and that's why that became the first dynasty, the Xia Dynasty. Unfortunately, the Xia Dynasty did not last very long, but it still introduced a whole new chapter in China's history. I really hope you enjoyed this story about the first Chinese dynasty, and I hope you enjoy next week's stories more about the dynasties.